Well, good evening, guys. Bill McMillan here with you on ndwx.com. A little bit later than normal on Tuesday evening, just past 10:30, and we're looking at the 24-hour temperature change to start the video off this evening. Big time shift here going on across the central portion of the country, the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley. Much colder air building in here, and obviously we were a little bit early with thinking the pattern change would get started, right after the new year. However, it continues to look like a delayed but not denied type situation as we go back to winter conditions in earnest. And if the extreme case plays out, we're going to lock this thing in here really from late January through February and into March. As things stand now, we think that we're in this transitional period over the next 10 days that starts really right now. So really over the next 10 days or so, certainly colder than where we've been, but not quite ready, I don't think, to just lock in and turn bitter. I think that waits around the 20th and thereafter. Needless to say, very impressed with some of the longer-term data and what may loom as we get set to go through the second half of January and on into February from a wintry perspective. Keeping this more to the short term, big story again, the much colder air mass that's building in here. And we do have actually a few snow flurries, snow showers beginning to develop across northeastern portions of Indiana. Not looking at a major snow event whatsoever here across central Indiana, but if your travels take you north, northeast, and even eventually into east central portions of Indiana, some of this lake effect will greet you in your travels, courtesy of Lake Michigan. And as we continue to advance this, as the winds kind of veer a bit Wednesday evening into early Thursday, more of east central Indiana will get in on some of this light lake effect snow, heavier amounts to the north in the traditional snow belt areas there, and certainly something to consider if your travels again take you off to the north. Bigger story though is what continues to look like the first widespread snow event for the Ohio Valley. I think it looms as we move into the upcoming weekend. We're looking at the GFS ensemble here, upper air pattern, and we posted last night around some of the differences with the models and how they kind of handle the evolution of the upper air pattern, and the all so subtle differences at the upper air pattern, with the upper air pattern I should say, we're presenting some different outcomes with respect to the sensible weather that we can expect. Given the overall setup, given that the majority of data that we look at is beginning to align in a more favorable fashion for a hit of snow coming in here over the upcoming weekend, confidence is growing that the potential at least is there for a shovelable snow event for central portions of the state, really focused in on Saturday, I think. So still some time to watch it, but a favorable pattern for a rather widespread light to borderline moderate type snow event for the Ohio Valley. And if your travels take you west to the big Colts game, certainly have already been receiving questions around maybe when to begin travel plans for that, and things of that nature. We'll have to continue to fine-tune it, but as things stand now, certainly if you're leaving out early Saturday morning, plan for potentially some slippery conditions as you venture west as this event unfolds. Longer term, big story, guys, again, is just this overall shift in the overall pattern to one that is much colder than normal as we go through the second half of January. Make it a great night. Thank you as always for logging on to ndwx.com. We'll talk with you soon.